Hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Trending Topics with BB. I am your host, Brooke Brown. That's what the BB stands for, in case you didn't know. I do want to remind you that today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/trendingtopicswithbb. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Alrighty, so much to do about that little-known movie. Okay, yeah, it's a huge movie, 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, I have seen it, and I've actually seen it twice. Once inebriated and once sober, and it's because it fell on my birthday weekend. Yes, this was just my past birthday weekend. Anyway, moving on, I do want to give an actual full review because now having seen it twice in different states, and the fact that I didn't read the books actually went into it without any expectations. So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's start with first. All of the hype is overrated. And the reason I'm saying that is there are a lot of articles to say that, 50 Shades of Grey is a bad movie, and it is a bad movie because it's perpetuating abuse and violence against women and feminism. Yeah, I'm sure the BDSM world wants you to believe that. No, I'm kidding, because that is not legit, and we'll get into that a little bit later. And then there's also articles, everybody's like comparing it to other movies of the past, and let's just say that all of the media scrutiny / praise for this movie is just overrated in my book. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's a movie for entertainment. Let's not forget that. Same with the book series, people. Now, I think the reason maybe that there is so much hype, maybe because of society's views on sex, views on BDSM, views on just there being such a phenomenon that this series of books that was originally Twilight fan fiction turned out to be, and why they are so popular. But I will have to say that the one thing that I'm not going to give any spoilers for those people that have not seen it and haven't decided whether or not they are going to see it. But I will say this, that both times I have seen the movie, people look to their friends within friends or people around them in the theater, and either give their opinion right away. And the opinions tend to be a little bit negative, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry I brought you to such a bad movie," or something of the like. Which is hilarious in my opinion, because if you didn't fucking like the movie, and it was really that bad, wouldn't you have walked out in the first 15 minutes and gotten your money back? Just calling you out there. Just saying. There are most theaters, if you don't like a movie within 15 minutes, you can get your money back. Or if you just walked out during the half and didn't even worry about getting your money back. So that's one thing I've noticed. Apparently, regardless of who you saw the movie with, you were so embarrassed about seeing a movie about sex that you have to give your opinion, and the opinions tend to be negative. To be honest, it's not a horrible movie, but it's not a great movie. It's no Oscar contender. It's no, this will change society's outlook on this issue. No. But what it is doing is getting people to talk a little bit more about sex and BDSM. Now, there are these articles, like I mentioned before, that perpetuate that this movie is just like not needed or whatever. Now, I'm not saying that is a grand movie and that everything in the movie was accurate. How can you fit accuracy in an hour and 50-minute movie, first? Second of all, your judgment of it, you're judging maybe before you've actually experienced or talked to somebody who comes from the world. I understand that maybe Rotten Tomatoes gave this a horrible review. I'm looking straight at the original Rotten Tomatoes score, and it's saying that it gave it just a 26%. Not that I always follow Rotten Tomatoes, but people bring that up when you're saying you went to the movie or you're wanting to go to the movie. Find that interesting, but nonetheless, let's move on. And then another thing that's interesting is that athletes are speaking up. There's this new article about Lolo Jones, who is an Olympic athlete, and apparently she wants to speak out against 50 Shades of Grey and say that she tweeted that this is her tweet, and I quote, "Funny how some people think there's nothing wrong with 50 Shades of Grey. God didn't create sex for that purpose. Watch another movie." Well, you could go back and watch Cruel Intentions. You could watch a lot of movies, really. And I honestly don't understand why you're so mad about a movie. Heck, how about you don't see it if you're not for it? But I'll have to say that it broke box office records this past weekend, so millions of people can't be wrong. Well, I guess that depends on your definition of wrong. And then I came across this other article. Now, this is funny. Now, The Guardian, there's another article by Sophie Morgan, and the title is, "I Like Submissive Sex, but 50 Shades is not about fun, it's about abuse." Again, another article about saying that, it's against feminism, and it's abusive, and blah, blah, blah. Now, if you've actually seen the movie, and I really don't want to spoil it for anybody, but if you've actually seen the movie, and you understand about BDSM, there are contracts, words, and consensuality that has to do with the relationship, and that's actually explained within the movie. That is not giving anything away. If you've read the books, you kind of already know that. Now, I will have to say that maybe they're taking on that there is kind of a storyline of that maybe people get into this sort of BDSM world because maybe they were abused as a child, they're in an abusive relationship, and in terms of actual abuse. Now, when there's consensual understanding among people, I'm not sure that can be defined as abuse, in my humble opinion. But again, I digress, and let's continue on this road. Now, I do want to give kind of my personal review of the movie. Now that I mentioned that I have seen it twice, once inebriated, once sober. And the good thing about seeing it the second time sober is that you notice things that you didn't notice the first time. So, I am able to compare my experiences and kind of give you. Like I said, the movie isn't great, but the movie isn't bad. I enjoyed the entertainment it gave me for an hour and 50 minutes of my life, twice. And I personally believe that maybe because I didn't have any expectations, because I couldn't read the books. And let me just say the reason why I didn't read the books, it's not that I didn't try. It's just sorry to, the author, but I just couldn't get past how badly written it was. Not trying to naysay that, but it was just bad prose. And I couldn't get into it. But I'm more of a watch the movie than read the book type of person anyway, so that could be another reason. So, let's continue on with my little review here, without spoiling anything. I personally like the scenery and the storyline of where it took place. Not most movies are in the Northwest, if you know what I mean. That's one part of the movie that's great. Yes, I know the story takes place in the Northwest. Duh. Going against these other articles about capitalism and classless in terms of, she's dating a billionaire. Okay, first of all, entertainment usually involves some sort of fantasy, so let's not get into the fact that he's in the top 1% or above 1%, which I don't even know what that means. Second of all, obviously, if it was all about money, capitalism, and that, would the character be interested in her to begin with as a college student? That's one thing to think about. But in terms of the movie, heck, go with your friends. I did see some men in there with their significant others. It's funny how, again, it goes back to that, I'm sorry I brought you, It's a movie for entertainment, and I think just to go back with what I said in the beginning, you should enjoy it based on the fact that it's a fucking movie for fucking entertainment. And there are some accuracies within the movie. It's not like the movie is perpetuating a lie. Let's not get that in your head. And I do also want to remind you, take a quick thing, you can actually, for you listeners out there of Trending Topics of BB, this podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. And if you don't have the time to actually read 50 Shades of Grey, I'm actually going to be downloading right after this the audiobook here from audible.com and listen to it as kind of the 21st century of books on tape. But to get back to the movie, to sum it up, go see the movie, judge for yourself, and instead of being embarrassed, realize it was a movie for entertainment, and the hype has made this thing bigger than it is. And also know, for you people out there, that there probably will be 2 more movies. I'm not giving the ending away. I'm just saying, based on the fact that there are 3 books, there should probably be 3 movies. We live in a world of sequels nowadays, so that really shouldn't be a surprise to you. So I hope this podcast gave you people out there not sure about the movie a chance to maybe give you some enlightenment into how I actually enjoyed the movie. I'm not like overly excited like a lot of people, because again, I didn't read the books and I'm about to download that audiobook. But I really hope that you take it in stride, and just like any other movie out there that is for entertainment, even if we are seeing a lot of movies touch on biographies and social issues, that you shouldn't take it so seriously that you can't take it for what it's worth. And that's my 2 cents on the movie 50 Shades of Grey. Thank you again for tuning into Trending Topics with BB. Hit me up on my social channels, and I will talk to you again on the next episode of Trending Topics of BB. Goodbye.